this is Kenzie, and in this video I am working on the show called Aro Lucha, and we put together this little title sequence of all the characters in the show. And this is the first behind the pencil of mine where you guys get to see me doing cleanup. I do a little bit of in-betweening later on too in this video, and I did in-betweening on a couple other scenes as well. So we have this very fun character right here, and I really enjoyed his design. I love his little pudgy nose and his very grumpy expression. His beard was really fun, and I found it easier to draw the whole like squiggle on his like arm cuff and then erasing the part where the staff covered it rather than just drawing it around the staff, because it helped me keep the volume of the actual markings. Another thing too you'll see throughout this is sometimes there's just like a red line and then the rough animation. And so the reason I did that was to see the rough animation to add cleanup to it, but also to see the on model cleanup version I had done on the frame before or the frame after. And this really helped me keep all the volume straight, because certain things like his head or the little marks on whatever, his cape, whatever the case is, helped to see the cleanup version while also cleaning up the next frame so that I didn't go off model just for this frame. And right now I'm working on the character called Enigma. He has a very cool design. I felt like I didn't have to put him on model as much as some of the other characters. We didn't have like a model sheet or anything for the little notebook that he's drawing in, or writing in, so I just kind of made up of certain aspects, I suppose, kind of followed what the rough animation was. And now the star of this whole thing, Mike. The biggest part about his design and cleaning up that I had to put more on model were his eyes and the distance between them, and then also the shape of the actual like eye mask. In the rough animation it was more circular, and then in the cleanup we made it more like, well, I made it more like angular in order to keep it true to the character design. And sometimes it can get tricky to make sure that that stays the case for each frame, but that's really important for the cleanup artist to do. And now here's Anne, the one who is throwing this poor child around. I put her big fluffy hair on model and added the little markings and stuff on her suit. I also did the same thing here that I did with the old man at the beginning, where I looked at the frame before in order to keep and make sure that the cleanup I did for this current frame was similar and on model to the cleanup for the frame before. This was fun to clean up, I'm not gonna lie. Like, this poor kid. He made some really fun expressions, and yeah, this was very well animated, and it was such a blast to work on. One other thing I had to make sure with Mike was his head. Actually, in the character design, it has like reaches to a point on top, whereas in the rough animation it's much more circular, and so making sure to like get like the little point at the top of his head was very important. The footage I got of the in-betweenings I did are a bit of the less difficult in-betweens. You're gonna see some characters that you didn't see the process of, so that'll be a fun little surprise. But please go check out the actual video on the Pencilish YouTube channel. It's really fun and it's all in color, and you get to see much more of the characters, and so many wonderful animators and other in-between artists and cleanup artists all worked on it. And here's the final cleaned up thing with some in-betweens.
Be sure to subscribe to the Pencilish Studios YouTube channel.